Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the charts for XRP once again to see what's been going on most recently and what I would expect to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you have not yet joined us in Discord, links in the description down below. Fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check it out. If you're looking for a little bit more from the crypto space, whether that is strategies around bulls and bear markets, or if you're looking for reviews on projects and what we think about certain protocols, why not check out the Patreon services as well. Links in the description below if that is your bag. Right, let's get into this. XRP paired up with USDT on the hourly chart. Binance is the data source, and we actually hit down right down on this low area 58.51, and we actually wicked down lower than our box here as well when we're talking about this low range of our trend line. So let me just shoot on up into our daily just for a second here, and we can shoot over. We can see this trend line is touching on our wicks from these low areas, okay, back on the 23rd of June. 23rd of June. We also touched again on the 20th of July. Down here for a third time in January of 2022, that's the 22nd, and we've come right back down again. So basically 2 days ago on the 30th, we came down and we hit that low point, which is fantastic. Okay, it's fantastic because it means that we are right where we think we were going to be way back. Okay, so anyone who's been kind of following the XRP videos for a while, everything that we've been talking about, heading down here. Now this is an E wave, and an E wave is unpredictable, so we still could have a little bit more downside, or it could be done, right? And we don't necessarily know just yet. We're waiting for confirmation on all of that. So let's get into the hourly and let's start talking about what is going on and what I think is going to happen next here. So as you can see, our wave C over our macro, slightly bigger time frame here, and probably a 4 hour would probably show this one quite nicely. But you see that we have this C wave come down after a B wave move. Okay, this actually also originates from a high of 93 cents. So we hit the 93, we pull on down, we bounced up towards this higher range. This actually came in on a high of 79.1, and then we pull down to this low range. Now, this does not necessarily mean it is done just yet, but there is some interesting stuff going on here. If we bring the stochastic RSI back into play, we can see that we're oversold here on our hourly chart, but on the 4 hourly, overbought, on the 8 hourly, overbought, and on the daily, oversold. So there's going to be some more volatility to be expected. Okay, so I'm expecting us to basically bounce our way down. Now, I don't think necessarily that we're going to come down as low as this range, but I still think we're in a corrective pattern here, and I'm not expecting us to kind of get that blast to the upside just yet. I think Bitcoin also has to correct down, so I would expect XRP to kind of follow the suit. So for now, I'm kind of thinking is likely to happen is some kind of ABC structure coming down here. Now, we cannot guarantee that that is going to be the case, because again, this could also be some kind of B wave move, and then we move up higher. So I'm going to give you a kind of an overview of where my mind is at on this right now. Okay, so let me just grab hold of this. I'm going to move, I'm going to leave that there for a second. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab this measurement here, and I've got to grab it from the other way around. I'm going to take it from the bullish sentiment, so we're going to take it from the high to the low, and we're going to put it there. Okay, then I think we are likely to see this slightly move down ever so slightly. So I'm going to zoom in a tad, okay, and bring this back up again. Okay, so we're going to probably look for about 50, maybe I'll go for the 618 bounce upwards, okay, but we'll see if that actually finds rejection maybe on the 786. As you see, we haven't closed above that 786, so we'll probably go with that one actually to start with. So what I'm thinking here is, guys, we're coming down here with this A wave. I think we might bounce up to about 62 cents. That being where we haven't closed above. Okay, so resistance right in this line here, and you can kind of see this historically, and then I think we're going to come back down. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm thinking. Let me just go ahead and mark that with a ray right about there. Okay, so we have that, and then I'm going to remove this one off. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the measurement this time from the bottom to the top, and I'm going to move this over to our B wave that we just drew. Okay, that's the 62.60, and then this basically looks for a 1-to-1 ratio at about 60 cents. Okay, and then I'm going to mark that up just down here as well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a couple of price labels. I'm going to throw one right on here at 62.60, and then I'm going to throw one right down here as well at our 60.22. Okay, and then I can remove this as well. And what I will do as well, I will remove our target, our high target there, that can come off, and I will remove this low point now as well. Okay, so with that being said, this means that this could also be a slightly bigger wave. Okay, so if we think of this as an entire A wave, this could be our B wave, and then we move on up slightly higher again. Okay, now if I were to go ahead and grab this fib and move it over to our 6022 low range, then we potentially are going to be thinking about maybe 6713. Okay, and I'll mark that up just up here as well, and I'll just put a little price label on this one right about here. Just make sure that's 6713. Perfect. So we've got a couple of things. One, we're probably going to push up, then we're going to push back down, then we're probably going to see another set of waves inside here, which again I would expect to be A, B, and C as we come up towards our 6313. So a little bit of volatility, okay, and essentially, so we move up to take our hourly stochastic RSI to the overbought area, then we move down to bring down the 4-hour, the 8-hour, and the hourly stochastic RSI, okay, back to the oversold area, and then we should look for a surge upwards. And this could be a start of something else, right? Because I think there's lots of different ways we can look at this. I don't think this is anything impulsive here, but at some point though, we're not going to be able to dissect these ranges down too much. I mean, if we were to really try and make this into something, we would probably look at it like this. With a 5-wave structure, but I think it's a bit extreme. But if we do actually go up to a 1.618 higher, given the fact that the daily is in a pretty good position, this could be the start of an impulsive structure, which would actually then confirm that we're at the end of our E-wave correction. Right now, this could actually just be a start of a triple corrective pattern coming down much lower, and therefore we'd expect a little bit of a higher push so we can reset it in the same way that we saw with this B wave just up here, right? So it could be something that we look at here with maybe a WXYXZ move coming down even lower, okay? And that's a possibility within this E wave, right? So we're looking at this structure. We're waiting for confirmation to see if we're exiting out of this E. But right now, yeah, this seems like a pretty good place to be if you are looking to, get into to XRP ahead of what is likely to go and happen after the daily chart has corrected into this E-wave. Then I still think that 58 cent was a fantastic area to be kind of dollar cost averaging a position into XRP. Okay, so essentially that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this pretty progressively here. This B wave is something that also could change. I've got this currently labeled up at 60-22 on the 1-to-1 ratio, but again, B waves are unpredictable in the same way that an E wave is unpredictable, and therefore we could drop this down lower. The lower that our B wave drop down here happens, so we just grab hold of this B. If this were to drop down lower, then our C wave would also drop down lower. And it wouldn't necessarily go for that 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, so it's important that we kind of reflect on whatever happens here is going to have an impact later. But in terms of everything else, I think we should be watching the stochastic RSIs quite closely on this correction, but do expect a little bit of a push up before we pull on back down. Now let's come up into our daily. Okay, bring this back down. Okay, so we are basically tracking the Elliott wave triangle here, and we are looking for about 1600% from these low ranges of where we are to the top of about $9.97. Again, this is these triangle patterns, if I can get my words out, these triangular patterns, they can only appear in wave 4 or wave B positions, okay? And considering we don't have an impulsive structure this side, means that this has to be a B wave, which means we have to have a C wave, and that C wave can be multiple different things, okay? It can be a 3-wave count. It could also be a 5-wave count, and it could be multiple different kind of corrective patterns strung together. It could be, 7 waves. It could be a series of 13 waves or whatever, right? Essentially, it could be a whole string of corrections kind of taking us up into those higher areas, or it can be an impulsive structure, or it could just be a simple 3-wave structure, okay, with the sub-wave counts again dividing that down even further. So essentially, we're in a pretty good position here. We know that we're in an Elliott wave triangle. We're looking to complete the E wave, which can be unpredictable, so don't be too surprised if it does happen to pull down lower, maybe heading towards the 40-cent ranges. I wouldn't be too surprised about that. It will ultimately follow what Bitcoin is doing, but the structure is still solid, and even after a pullback of that kind of suit, if it does happen, then it will ultimately mean that this move up higher will be very, very powerful as well. So do expect some interesting stuff here for XRP slightly longer term. But essentially for now, I would expect, as I said on the hourly chart, a little bit of volatility. We're going to push up. We're going to pull back down. We're probably going to push up again after that. And again, after that, it will reset the waves. We might see a Z wave go down a bit lower if we don't have that kind of impulsive structure start to form or anything like that. So guys, that's kind of what I have for you on XRP today. If you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If if you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And with all that said, done now, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.